then you were talking, and then we were talking about Liv and how awesome that she is, and her accolades.
Yeah, and the fact that when she's alone, she's a better performer. I think.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. And she shines a lot in this, and but yeah, Roxanne, she was just like so good, and Bailey comes in, and I remember she just head slams the fuck out of Roxanne.
Yeah, she was really aggressive. I liked it.
Yeah, she was really good, and then Let's Go Bailey chants had started like right
Yeah,
after. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely. That was definitely a good way to start. I mean, it was definitely a lot of hard hitting in the women's part. I
Yeah,
loved it. Great way to start off, Elimination Chamber show in
which
general.
I tell people a
But yeah,
lot of times, like, the women can more often than not go harder than the men. Like, they do some pretty brutal stuff to each
yeah.
other. Um,
They're seeing some like more high velocity too, because they
yeah,
can, physically.
yeah,
So
and then I put down Prodigy Powerbomb from the top. I put because Roxanne keeps on being called the Prodigy, and she is, and that's why I put down that because she just gave this power bomb from the top that was just
yeah.
so goddamn good. And just and like I said, it crisp, just like every move, whether she's doing it or whether she's selling it, is just crisp, just fresh. Um, she's so good, and then I have that's when Alexa Bliss came in shortly after that, and because I had Alexa Bliss still sexy as fuck. Um,
But yeah, I love her. I love her. I
she's
love her. She's
still
gorgeous. She's, high velocity, so active. It's just she's great. She's great in
yeah,
every way.
which they're slowly building up to her being a part of the Wyatt Six. Um,
What is that? Is like the slowest facet growing I've seen
yeah,
ever.
they
Like,
kind of put the brakes on him there because apparently Bo got injured in training. Uncle Howdy there, he got injured in
mm,
training, and they had put him on. I know that I remember seeing what's his name with the dreads, um that he was the creepy man to the Miz. I'm forgetting his name, and I feel like a jerk.
I always forget that guy's name. I don't feel bad now
Uh,
because you don't either. It's like, well,
it's Dexter something, ain't it? Dexter Loomis? No, I'm forgetting. Let me look up the Wyatt Six real quick. Because I feel like a jerk for forgetting his name because he was in a really good match um with Ludwig Kaiser. Just
but he's not in a whole bunch of really good matches. That's why, and I constantly think, well, that guy's forgettable, and
no,
I
it is
feel bad
Dexter
about
Loomis.
thinking
I
it.
was right.
I'm gonna remember
Yeah,
that now.
yeah, but yeah,
Definitely try.
outside of that one match and stuff, I haven't seen anything with the Wyatt Six, and I guess with Alexa coming back and them doing the little snippet flashes and her stuff with it, is that like they're slowly like waiting for her to like reestablish herself on her own, before she's just like fully engulfed in them. And I think
Here's the problem. Like, how long do they expect fans to wait? Like, okay, I understand slow burn, but even with slow burn, eventually it'll fizzle out before it
and
flames, you know?
that's where I'm kind of worried, is that we're in a bit of a fizzle out stage, because like also like you got Nikki Cross on there too. Like, why has Nikki Cross not been in match after match right now terrorizing people? Because Nikki Cross is really good.
Yeah, they're not utilizing it well. Like any of the people the time that they have, like building it up, it's just not being
Yeah,
utilized well on any front to me. And I don't think that's the state. I'm sorry, my Tom actually
no,
keeps
you're fine.
making noise. Slow. But they're not establishing anything permanent that way to me. It's just like they're mousing around with people that could be really great established characters if they actually put it into
Yeah,
it now, you know? Like they had them putting up Burger Kings and stuff and losing the thrill. Like,
yeah,
what are we doing?
and
What are we actually doing?
WrestleMania is right around the corner. Like, we got like what about 5 more weeks, beforehand, and
Hmm.
like, I mean, they could do it. They could throw them into something here real quick, but I feel like everything's just been thrown to just focus on The Rock and Cena and all that, which we'll talk about that later. But Alexa Bliss, really awesome. Um, hope that everything with Wyatt Six works out. Just love it.
There's something for her because it's great to see her in
Yeah.
action, you know?
I had a front flip neck breaker, and then which she just executes that perfectly. That's her thing. Um, and and then she did like a swinging Rana like face buster to a crossface. Like right after that.
Yeah, that was clean.
And
I like
like
that.
she's just great. Um, and I didn't have like too much on Bailey other than that she was super aggressive and awesome. But Liv then she eliminates Bailey with an Oblivion there, really well timed one. Um,
Yeah.
and then it's right after that. That's when the fight starts with the climb up to the top with the hair whip.
I also wrote here Candice Isray who?
Candice LeRae.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
right. She doesn't stand out to me, so I'm just like, she's insignificant. But like, why is she there ever?
she's in for Nia Jax in the next match. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand her. She's just like a stand-in for anybody to me. I'm just like, why are you here? Like,
That's and her husband Johnny Gargano kind of fill those roles great. Um, um, but that hair whip at first, like when I thought that was her like smashing up against the cage when Bianca whipped her with the hair, and then I saw the mark, and I'm like, oh shit, that was like she must be hitting her with the steel rod. She must be weaving them things up with steel rod.
what is in that hair? Yeah, I was very shocked. Was very just like, yeah, definitely. What is in that hair? What is wrapped in that? That can't be
Yeah,
just hair, because
but
that's
then again,
brutal. That
it's
mark.
so tight, and she has it done. I remember seeing a thing about her hair that she has it like pulled down and tied up twice a week. Um,
Okay.
just to keep the braid going. You know.
Your hair's scary. Your hair's scary.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Her hair is scary as hell. And so I can only imagine it being tightened up so tight. At that point, it basically is like a whip. It really is like a whip. Then at that point, but yeah. Then she did a really great crossbody, from the top of the little cell there. Um, then they did that powerbomb suplex combo shortly after that. Then Alexa Bliss does a twisted bliss to eliminate Roxanne, and then I had marked down Bliss reversals because she just like spent like 5 minutes reversing like everybody else's moves. um, and then there was the hair pull cage push. Yeah, when when Liv had gotten a hold of her hair and just started pushing Bianca back and forth and pulling her right back with the with her hair smashing her face into the cage. Um,
Yeah, and dragging her to the
yeah,
throne. I mean, that was a great moment in
yeah.
general.
Um, Liv did a Three Amigos. I think that's the first like Three Amigos I can like recall seeing her do.
I think it was two. Like the whole time I was like, that definitely is a new move for her.
Yeah.
Like,
Which it just further showing how well progressed as like a wrestler that she is. And then oh yeah, that's when Bliss does the Sister Abigail and Liv comes in and and does the sneak pin right up behind her after that. That's how Alexa gets eliminated. And then yeah, then there's a cage wall, the head slams, and then oh yeah, she power bombed her into the cage. And then yeah, it was the knee 450 reversal spot to KOD. That's how that match wrapped up.
yeah,
I
yep.
you know I had a lot more notes on that match because the next two matches, boy oh boy, there's some gives and takes. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. I feel
I
I feel
just
Candice and Nia are like kind of team. Why are we here?
I think yeah, I'm just like yeah. Why are they there? Why are they
Yeah,
there?
I mean, and now, granted, Candice, like even though she's had like her forgettable fairy character and everything, she's still good in the ring. Um, she still does what she needs to do, but she doesn't have anything, signature. She doesn't have any like remarkable spots.
Nothing stands out about her
Yeah.
whatsoever, and I don't understand. And like, she bothers me so much. I have to say it all the time because every time I see her name, it's like this. Who? What? Why? Who?
Why? Who? Where? When? How? Yeah, and same thing with Nia Jax. Yeah, I mean, Nia, she's just someone that it's like I actively dislike because of her sloppy style. She's gotten
I don't like how she
she's gotten
wrestles.
a lot.
Eh,
It's surprisingly better about not injuring people.
When I think about how much she's gotten better, it just reminds me how bad she actually was and
Mhm.
still is. And she's so sloppy. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like watching. It's not enjoyable for me to be like, oh my gosh, is that person okay?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and the fact that uh first of all, she uses the bonsai drop. I don't even know what they call it. I think they call
yeah,
it the Annihilator.
yeah, I don't pay
Yeah, I
attention
think they
to she
call
does
it the
it.
Annihilator, but it's like, yeah, I get it. You're an offset of the Anawahi family, and Yokozuna
And you're big.
was
Yes, you're
up
big.
in there. And the fattest wrestler to ever wrestle. Um,
Was.
was
Oh,
rest in
rest in peace.
power there. I mean, that man was a world champ, and him and Owen Hart's tag team, that was like the first, and Jim Cornette, those were like that was the first bad guy like kind of duo that I really got into. That I'm just like, well, those guys are really good in the ring though, so I like.
But I never saw them as bad guys as a kid, so like it's weird for me to say that now because my brain doesn't conceptualize it. It's like, no, we like them, so they're good,
Yeah, yeah, and nowadays the whole dynamic of just the heels and baby faces and stuff. It's being thrown to the lefts and rights here a lot lately. Like which I think like two standouts when it comes to just being paragons. Just truly kind of not really bad or good. I think is Drew McIntyre and Braun Breaker. I think those two are just standouts and being like it's sure they're calling Drew a crybaby, whatever. That man is he is like the MVP of 2024 to me. Like that man went
I
through
think like
everything.
his like character is solidifying in a way that's amazing to me. Like and that how he's like antagonistic and like that whole like vengeance thing they did with him. I think it's really good. I'm loving it.
He's just been so awesome. Every match that he's been in, win or lose, they're all good. They're all good matches.
Yeah. And he's such a good talker.
Oh
Like I
yeah,
love it.
he's kills it when it comes to just like social media and being like a one wrestler that like he takes it and makes it funny every time,
Yeah,
and
he does.
he's terrific. And then got Braun Breaker there, who just he is a dog, you know, like I'm all about him because it's just like like let him go after the good guys, let him go after the bad guys. Like now he's like he was just
Listen,
fighting Jey Uso, now he's
go.
fighting Judgment Day. Whatever, it's fucking Braun Breaker. I
Yeah,
just want to see that man spear somebody.
exactly. I just want to see
Yeah.
him wrestle. You know.
um, but yeah. So like nowadays, it's like because going into this, and it kind of falls back to this match, is that Tiffany Stratton was a fucking heel ish. Like that's the thing is she kind of broke that barrier too. Because when I went to WrestleMania last year, um, when she went up at WWE World there, like everybody was there for her. Like she was probably the biggest attraction of that day, and as she should be. She is terrific in the ring. Um, she's got a great personality. I don't mind her being a world champion right now at all.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't know why anybody would have a problem with it. She's really talented in the ring, you know. She's growing into her speaking and stuff like that. You can tell she's not really strong with that,
Yeah.
but you know, I think she deserves a chance. And it's not like the championship that everyone else had they passed down. I think we also need to realize there's so many different categories of different championships now. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, she deserves that
Yeah,
title.
and she got it Money in the Bank, and she Money in the Bank that shit perfectly, and her Money in the Bank match was really great too. Um,
It was really great, and they played it up very well too. With the I'm going to, I'm not going to, the
yeah,
back and the forth was really
yeah,
good.
and but now it's like now I'm hoping that this match um kind of solidifies that like okay she's done. She's done with Nia and Candice, and that WrestleMania is coming up. Now she's got to deal with Charlotte, which I think is great.
Yeah,
Um, which I'm kind of in the air. That one's a hard one to call. Who will win that one come WrestleMania? Um, I kind of think Tiffany just because like Charlotte's obviously taking a rub to her. Um,
yeah. I think it's time for a passing of the torch for Charlotte. I mean, come on,
it's
come
not like
on.
she's gonna beat her dad's record and everybody else's record. Like,
Yeah, and it's like,
yeah,
why? Just pass the torch now. When you see someone that has a talent to do what
mm-hmm,
you did,
yeah.
without the
And
dad.
there's reasons for comparisons of the two, because mostly because they have a similar look when it comes to actual in-ring style. Um, Charlotte Charlotte is
So,
like one of the most technical wrestlers like out there. Period.
I mean, he's her father's
Yeah.
child. That
Um, but so I gave that match a 4 just because I will probably give any match with Nia Jax in it one minus 1 point.
yeah. I'm gonna go with the 4 because I who? What?
Why? Oh, because it's Canada. Oh.
That
Because it's
too.
Canada and they wanted an
It's not
excuse to
Canada.
use
It's
Trish
Kansas.
Stratus. I get it.
I love Trish
Yeah,
Stratus. I think everyone should love Trish Stratus.
she was great. she did everything that she needed to do in the ring, still looking great. And the fact that this
Yeah,
is like
she
the kid's
definitely helped
first
some
time
other
to
people up.
actually to see her wrestle, which is like kind of just crazy because it's like, man, I remember when your mom couldn't fucking wrestle. Like,
Yeah, it's like really actually insane. Like, wow, wow.
I remember when she was like the pioneer of the Divas era. Like,
The Divas era, what's that?
Divas. We don't talk about divas no more, do we?
Like, we don't talk about
Yeah.
Bruno.
All of our women are tough. Becky Lynch is a man. Move on.
Oh
But
God, humans are
yeah,
ridiculous.
another
Anyway,
one that I didn't really take notes for because there was really no notes needed. KO versus Sammy. Uh,
I just wrote about their pants.
what's that?
I wrote about those pants that Sami Zayn was wearing. That was my only note. I have nothing to say about either of them. I mean, well,
Yeah,
that's it.
them Scenester pants that he's got, which it's just coming up on my TV now, that match, because I have Elimination Chamber on in the background. It just came on. Now I'm looking at his pants. I'm like, yeah, those are some Scenester pants that he's got.
But then I realized after that, a whole bunch of other people have those same exact black pants that are wrestling. I'm just like, you
Yeah,
bastards.
yeah. Go, going
Like
from
Raw and
going from
everything
the
after.
ska kid to the emo kid now, Sammy. He's got to fight your friend. Boo hoo.
You have to
You
fight
got
the
to fight the
same.
same friend that you've been fighting for the last 20 years. Boo hoo.
And just, ugh. And KO in general.
Yeah,
I'm just,
and he is the prime
I did.
example of like I watched the Attitude Era. I am the Attitude Era.
Mhm.
That's all I do is Attitude Era moves. I've stolen everybody's fucking moves, and
Including the trap heel
yeah,
turn. Oh, I just,
yeah.
so many other ways they could have done the heel turn. And like, I just think it's
I
horrible.
will
The
say
jumping.
I will say the one thing about the initial part of his turn where he attacks Cody outside of the bus and they just had fans record it. That was that was super
Yeah.
smart. Nobody's
I
ever
think
done a
they should
spot
have
like
started it
that
that way.
before.
I mean, yeah, but of course it had to happen in 2025. It should have happened
Yeah.
earlier. But like my thing is, they should have started that way. They started with the groveling and the going back and forth in ring. It's like they could have started with the outside fight, and that would led up to more of mystery. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, and yeah, KO. He's just it's kind of hard to talk about how he's terrible in so many ways. Um,
That's not hard to talk about. I talk about it all day, actually.
I can't just put one finger on it. I'm just like, where to begin? Um,
But we could jump right into how they keep dragging Randy Orton out at
which,
random
which
PLEs, or also when they have
that's
to
the
make a
only
point.
note that I have for this match. So I have KO versus Sammy 3, Randy's return 9.
Like we can stop dragging him out. Like let that man rest. Please.
I no I ran. Hey, I had the privilege of eating some chicken with Randy Orton at WrestleMania there. Um, it was just by dumb chance. I was sitting in the same area. Dom had just gotten done doing like an hour-long thing with like some other podcasters, and Dom was hilarious. Like he basically like got through their questions and then immediately started making fun of the crowd, and it really became like a sit down stand up to where he just sat down in the chair and just did crowd work the entire time, and he was
That's
so funny. Like he was just so funny, just like immediately just would see a person, they didn't even have to say anything and he would just pick them apart. and um And when I went, I got some chicken. I went and sat back down at the tables. The whole area was vacant. This was like, I think this was right after Tiffany Stratton's like thing started. And so I went and sat down there, and all the tables were empty. And Randy just came and sat down with some fried chicken right next to me. I think he had, I think he had just gotten done a signing or something. I don't know. And I was just like, dude, Norton. He was like, "What's up, man? Wasn't Dom funny as shit?" I was like, "Yeah, it was hilarious." And I talked to him. I was like, I told him, I was like, you gotta beat Rick's record, man. Yeah, John's gonna do it first, but you gotta beat John. He's like, man, it'll come in time. I'm just having fun. I was like, oh, fun. How you're gonna win the U.S. title today in that triple threat there? And he was like I just said, I'm having fun. and and then we ate our chicken, and he got up and fist bumped me and said, have a good weekend. So
That's cool. Cool to meet people chill, not when they're
yeah, he was chill. We talked, we ate our food, it was just he was just super cool. And so like when the whole thing started, with Kevin giving the pile driver to Randy, and Randy being out for weeks, I noticed the timing, and I'm like, it's right before Thanksgiving. Randy probably went to Triple H and was like, hey, can I get off for the holidays? and Triple H is probably like, yeah, sure, I'll have Kevin pile drive you.
Perfect.
I'll have Kevin pile drive you. You can come back when you're ready. Like, okay. Like, that's how that whole conversation had to have gone down. As to because he didn't really get brought back up, other than being like, he is out indefinitely, just like how now Sammy is out indefinitely. And
Yep.
it's like, yeah, because you guys, it's not even that, like, all the spots were good. I remember us talking through the match, texting each other and stuff. At the most notable spot is when I saw him pull out the barbed wire chair, and you were like, Cactus Jack has entered the chat.
Yeah, but they stuck and didn't utilize it properly.
Yeah, and they didn't. They, it's like, how are you guys? How are you two hard ass hardcore Canadians gonna have a barbed wire chair, and then you're not going to bleed at all? Like, if Cactus Jack has entered the chat, he walked out like shortly after that shitty power bomb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hardcore like it used to be.
But yeah, then after that shit show, we get the men's Elimination Chamber. Logan Paul, Damian Priest, CM Punk, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins. They started out with finisher fakeouts. Drew went in for the oh, I'm forgetting his move now. Yeah. But he went in for his move, and then Sammy tried to. Seth came in for the stomp, and then just got into a whole bunch of they hate CM Punk, because it was like anytime that either one of those two had a brief moment and they had their whole part of the match centered around CM Punk's thing, and I just wrote, I get it, they hate Punk. like those two hate CM Punk. I fucking get it. Like,
everyone has a reason, but it was kind of stressful. It was just like, I heard this up.
Yeah, and then the following note is because Damian comes out next, and my note on that is Damian Priest is just good.
I love his skills. I love the way he looks at people. I love his mannerisms. Just
He's
like, yes, he's just
just
good.
so
You
good.
know,
He's just so good at
I
all
love
of his stuff, and
it.
he knows how to mix things up. He knows when to go. He knows when to sell, and he doesn't oversell. That's the other great part about him. He
Yeah,
doesn't oversell
he
when
still
he
feels
gets hit. He
it.
just goes down. He doesn't make a whole show out of it. Um. Uh. Yeah. Then. Oh yeah. Then it was a finisher reversal fest to where just everybody came in um and just it was just trying to reverse. And then they did the Tree of Woe superplex thing. That was pretty cool. Made note of that to where Drew was, you know, hanging underneath the Tree of Woe thing, and then Seth and um Seth and Damien got up onto it and just did that pull down Tree of Woes superplex thing. That was pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, it was
and
pretty
then
awesome.
good old Logan Paul comes in, but it's great.
Can't stand him.
It's great because Damien beats the piss out of him.
Yeah, that was a great part, but just like seeing him really just pissed me off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, Logan, and it's also made note in the thing. It's his second Elimination Chamber, but it's only like his 15th match.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's like, damn, dude. I get it. They propelled you, and that's the thing though. It's working because I can't really shit on the man's in ring performance. He's good.
I'd say he has a lot of
Yeah,
skill. Um, that's all I can say about him.
yeah. So, um, but yeah. Then what? It's and then oh yeah. Then Damien did the old school Hurricane Rana on Drew, where he went up and did the old school walking on the top rope and then did it into a Hurricane Rana. That shit.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't take notes about that. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really nice. It was great to see. I wasn't expecting something like that out of any of them that night. I really
No,
wasn't.
no, it was really good, and then John Cena gets in, and then it becomes John Cena's finisher fest, where he's just like attitude
Yeah.
adjustment to you, attitude adjustment to you, five knuckle shuffle to you, attitude adjustment to you. um, and then what is it? Right after that, then Drew did his Claymore kick, and right after he did his Claymore, Damian Priest rolls him up and gets a sneak pin on him.
Yeah.
Which for real, it's like for real. In all honesty, at this point, I understand Drew's like stuff with CM Punk, but if you like look at all the stuff Damian Priest has done to him in the last year, it's like, why don't you have the same hate for that man?
I constantly think that they'd be a great matchup, and yeah, I think they're purposely doing that. They're
Yeah,
sneaking in things, Damian Priest into Drew, so they can,
yeah,
you know, yeah, I think that's on
yeah,
purpose. But I think it's a great matchup. They're two big men. You can go that
and
whole
they can
thing
both
and
go.
it boosts
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
face.
I'm feeling that's probably gonna be a WrestleMania matchup, or I don't know the way that they've been swinging things. Um, Here it seems like they've been mixing up, certain cards here to be a little bit more unexpected as of late. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how that ends up rolling out because it's like the man, Money in the Bank to you. He eliminated you from Royal Rumble, and he's eliminated you from Elimination Chamber. Like,
Yep. You gotta feel some type of way towards him.
yeah,
Like, come on.
come on, Drew. You bitch about a lot of things, but
The CM Punk and the bracelet that lasted forever. You can do other stuff now.
Yeah, just get over it, dude. Get over it, move on.
Really?
But yeah, and then right after that, a frog splash from Logan Paul eliminates Priest. And then CM Punk came out, and then John and Punk's first bro spot, of just being like, oh my god, bro, like, yeah, bro, oh my god,
Oh,
we were doing this shit like 10 years ago.
really, like,
Back when you doing a heel turn would have made a difference. But then Go to Sleep, that eliminates Logan Paul, and then it's bro spot number 2,
which was
right after that. And that's the bro spot where I think he pulled his hand back from him and tried to put him in GTS, and then it went out to a bunch of reversal finish. Yeah, reversal fest and STF into Anaconda Vice. Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, Seth Rollins did a buckle bomb to the cage that just sucked. And then it just became more individually paced there when as it was just the 3 of them, to where it was John and CM Punk, then it was Seth and CM Punk, and then went into another finisher reversal fest before Seth finally got eliminated. But when he gets eliminated and stuff there too, because he comes up and does the stomp spot, CM Punk there, like, I had to know, how fucking long did Seth wait? Because
that's what I was moving around. I was just about to say it. Like that. Like there's something ridiculously long about that whole thing. Like,
did he get eliminated and then just stand there by like the one side cell of the cage door, and
I think
the rest start being like, you gotta get out, dude?
Yeah, it was. I was like, I was just like, why did he wait so long? That should have been a quicker spot. I don't understand this, but whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he's about to leave, and someone's like, "No, you missed something."
Yeah, but it was still that was still a good spot to finish off at. The fact that like Punk had like kind of rolled out of everything at that point, like stomp with an STF, like, okay, I'll buy that. I'll buy that, and then I guess it gets to the real main event. Right after that, Cody comes on out, and John's all boyish. It's gonna be me and you at WrestleMania.
For some reason, in my head, I thought that somebody was still gonna fight.
Yeah.
So when they started talking, I was like, "This sucks."
And in all honesty, yeah, if any, because we know John's not gonna go out a heel. He's not. He's not gonna finish off his tour with the heel. He's gonna turn his back on The Rock, here at some point. But most likely, though, because they want Cena to break Ric Flair's record. He's gotta win that spot at WrestleMania, and then they'll probably drag it out for about like 2 pay-per-views.
Probably until October or something like that.
Probably SummerSlam. Probably SummerSlam, because I can't see John holding on the title for his entire run, for his entire retirement tour, because he's got like 30 dates or something like that, and this was one of them. And so he's only got like a handful of appearances. So I think just storyline wise for him, they gotta like hook him up to the bad guy for whatever reason. For The Rock, like that's the thing, is everybody keeps on saying like, yeah, like, oh my gosh, why do you do it? Yeah, genuinely, why?
Yeah. Nobody asked for heel Cena. No,
We
nobody
asked for
asked for
that
that
10 years ago.
whatsoever.
We asked,
It was like years ago, maybe, but now it's just
yeah,
like, why?
like
Why would
sure,
you do this?
he started
I
out
guess,
as a heel. Like I guess maybe one thing I can look forward to is if he goes into the thugonomics scene and stuff. I
oh
would
my
love to
goodness.
see him
First of
bust
all,
out
that should
some rap.
never, ever
I would
happen
love to see.
again. It should never
Yeah.
happen again. No,
Oh,
no,
it's probably gonna happen.
no.
It's probably gonna.
Forever. Bury it forever. I hope someone beats him up if he does. That is no. We're done with that. That is dated. That's aged. That's like it's a spinner. If I ever say anything spinner again, I'm
Oh,
gonna break it.
the
Like,
spinner belt.
like that's how aged that whole thing is. Like, please no. Please
Yeah,
just leave it alone. Like,
but
leave it. Leave the past in the
but it
past.
just logically it just makes no sense. I don't know how they're going to really sell John turning heel now. Like he's done everything that The Rock was offering, like to Cody. Like I can get you movie roles, I can get you this and that, and John.
Yeah, he did. The Rock's gonna see like he's behind the scenes, getting seen all that stuff the whole time. Is that where it's gonna go? I mean, it
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
yeah.
It doesn't.
I can't really like even think for a second of just like why, but who knows? I mean, that kind of comes back to just the whole thing of Rock being obsessed with getting Cody's soul and all that. Like I guess wanting a corporate champion, and that's the thing. I much would. I think everybody would have rather had like Cody turn heel and then have.
I've been waiting for him to turn heel for over a good like year and a half, 2 years now. I want him to turn heel so bad. I don't even like heels like that
But
in
he's a great
sports,
heel
but
when he is one.
yeah, I want to see his butt
Yeah.
be bad. Now, what I didn't ask for was Cena. I don't think anyone asked for that, but at least Cena gets to go out being in that category before
Yeah.
retirement,
And
instead of being a nice guy and work hard guy and all that
yeah,
bullshit.
it's like how are they? I am curious as to how they are going to steer that whole thing, but I guess from there that moves us on to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw.
Raw.
Where do I have it?
Having those put together, actually organized and condensed.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. So Monday Night Raw, March 3rd. There. Yeah. The Punk and Rollins brawl at the beginning, I gave honestly, I gave that an 8 because it just I got my problems with Pepsi Phil, but the promo that he cut, right before him and Seth started brawling, it was actually good.
I love him pushing over the prime. I think that was my favorite part in the beginning.
Pushing over the prime. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his tirades need to be studied. Like, it's amazing. Like, those aren't normal wrestler tirades. There's a lot of heart and personal stuff in that, bro.
But yeah, I gave that a solid 8 just because they brawled the hell out of each other, and it just was like the pacing of it from just Punk getting out of the car to just come right in the ring, right down to the ringside there. It was just that's the kind of CM Punk stuff that it's like, okay, that was good CM Punk. Like he has some shittier
Yeah.
ones for sure, but that was really good, and it was a really good brawl, and they sold the shit out of it.
They did. Although, like, Seth Rollins, he was dressed so normal, I didn't know who he was at first before a little bit. I was like, who's that? Oh, like, because like I didn't see any glitter, I didn't see any feathers. There was nothing connected. I had Seth
Normal.
Rollins at first, so
Just,
with a crop top.
who are you? Is this
Oh,
Seth Lynn Rollins?
yeah,
Um,
that's definitely
yeah,
Seth fucking Rollins.
yeah.
Seth Rollins.
I have here. Yeah, the Rock bald fraud. You hit your arm. And I wish you make me want to wear a fake title. I'm just like, yo, go punk. And then yeah, yeah, Cena selling out is just just a bunch of false dreams that you guys all had for him. Like I was telling this 10 years ago that he was a piece of crap, and nobody believed me.
Anyone that actually watched the Marine knew he was a
Yeah,
piece of crap, but
but and then to finish it up with, you're gonna make a wish that you didn't piss me off.
that was
Yeah,
classic. That was great. That was beautiful. I
yeah,
loved it.
then calling out Rollins, Becky, get your man.
And it was great because Becky like replied like with a
Yeah,
screenshot and was like, I think AJ needs to get her
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like, I love when you guys do the social
yeah.
media.
I saw that, and that's just great work. That's just great work on the part of Becky Lynch right there. Of just being, because that was no, because she's smart, she's clever. There was probably nobody at WWE being like, "Oh, you need to respond back with the post." She probably just immediately was like, "I'm gonna call out AJ."
I can create a good storyline myself.
Yeah, I can talk shit too. I'm really good at it, actually. But past that, just oh yeah, Judgment Day talk. Which I rated that a 4. Because
He's playing sociopath, I guess, with his eyebrows. I give it 3, honestly. I cannot. I want them dissolved. I cannot stand them. Can't stand them anymore. Just go away, Judgment Day. Just I
it's
cannot.
funny too, because it's like, um they bring up the tag belts and stuff, and then Finn's like, too bad about Elimination Chamber, huh?
Yeah, the whole just like good job playing
Yeah.
asshole.
there's one thing about Judgment Day that is right. It's the fact that Finn's an asshole.
An absolute one, and yay.
Yeah, but too bad about Elimination Chamber, right?
I mean, I think they've had their time. They
Yeah,
oh,
but that's the thing, is freaking Dom's been talking about bringing in a new member, and like, who like another one. It's like, you guys don't even know to do with Carlito. Like,
about Carlito doesn't even do anything. He has members that are expandable. Why does
yeah,
he have someone new?
you have Carlito, who's actually a good wrestler when he wants to be. You know,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
utilize him.
but for him, it's just like, no apples and running spots. Like, like,
Yeah, I think that the creative team is really just, going to limit what they're going to do with Judgment Day at
yeah,
this point.
because that uh, just all of them, like, heck, you can have Dom and Liv and Raquel just go off and be their own little trio. Like, you don't need to tie down Finn with Judgment Day anymore. You don't need to tie down, because I mean, all Judgment Day is one of the many offshoots of Bullet Club, which I had made a note a long time ago that between New Japan, AEW, and WWE, this was like when I was calling it the factions, the faction comic booky era. That was like that first year of like Triple H, to where it's just like, we got factions all over the place.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
um,
ridiculous. Any single
yeah,
wrestler.
like everybody, but at one point there, we had 5 different offshoots of Bullet Club, which is pretty cool. To think that Bullet Club started out with Finn Balor and like 4 other dudes, and they've like done more than what NWO was actually able to accomplish. Like it would.
Mm, that's
I mean,
subjective.
it would, and I'm meaning that subjectively, and the fact of like time and era, but and the fact that it's like it started out in New Japan, but then it was able to like branch out to where it's in like it's in 3 other promotions, and variations thereof, because we had the OC um with with AJ Styles and them, and then we had Judgment Day, being partially led by Finn, and then you had Bullet Club Gold and Bullet Club White between AEW and Ring of Honor, and then just regular Bullet Club going on. So it's just like, huh, yeah, that what started out as just like one faction is splintered out into a lot of different things.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like, yeah, you're
You
right.
know, and so that's where and they're all still good and good enough and consistent, but Judgment Day has definitely ran its course, because like who are they even going to add as a new member, and adding a new member, like what are they going to do? Like they have Finn now like pretty much slated to be, because what is it, later on, yeah, during the Braun Breaker versus Finn Judgment Day promo there, I put it as a 3 because there was blatantly some technical issues there, because you can kind of tell that Finn came out, had just came out, and he was like, "You're up there talking with blah blah blah," and it's like, "Oh, he was." Like, wait, did the commercial just ended? What happened to? I guess Braun Breaker was talking to what's her name there, beforehand,
Yeah, like
and then
with
I
some
cut into that.
mixed signals. So he didn't see what he saw, and
Yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, Jackie Redmond. That's yeah, with Jackie Redmond, because I haven't listed Jackie Redmond, sexy as fuck. Those green eyes of hers, they're crazy. Um, yeah,
very pretty. I
um,
agree.
but yeah, past that we get Gunther versus Otis. Um, which that was an interesting little matchup. It's definitely fitting into the old school style. Um, in a lot of ways, of having, because I've always said, if Bobby the Brain Heenan was alive for Gunther and Imperium, he would die again. Like like he would die again, just because like Gunther is everything Bobby the Brain Heenan would want. Foreign, strong, good in the ring, obnoxiously like overruled. Like, yeah, just I love Gunther. Um,
I mean, Gunther. I mean, there's something I like him. I like him. There's something about his wrestling I don't like. Fully. Every time he's wrestling, I get really like a cringy feeling. I
yeah,
don't know why. On the mic, he's not bad though. He's
mm-hmm.
getting better.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I had kind of put as the first note, with him coming out and talking about how you're a funny wrestler. I get it. I'm laughing.
I mean, can we talk about Otis and his little like valet? I don't know if you call them valets or were bedazzled. Like it was
Mhm.
2001. Like what was going on
I
with
don't
that?
know. I
Like
you know
who did his family make that? Who is actually doing the costumes? Because I was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like it's like a cape or a trench coat without arms, bedazzled. And like the girl, I don't understand it. I just like really threw me for a
well,
loop. and then the wrestling people.
Well,
But
Alpha Academy's become kind of along the same lines as Judgment Day, to where like it's ran its course a bit. Now, granted, it's given Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree, it's given them work, because I mean, without Alpha Academy, what are you gonna do with Maxine Dupree? You gotta put her solo, and she doesn't have like enough of an established personality yet
he
to
doesn't, and I don't know when
or
it
enough
shows up
in ring
either.
work to consider her solo worthy. And the match last week between Gunther and Tozawa kind of had also proved like, yeah, like why isn't there a cruiserweight division again? Like Akira Tozawa is like one of the few guys around there that I'm just like, why don't we have a cruiserweight division?
Yeah, he'd be right there. He's perfect for it. I'm sure other guys would fit into it too.
Yeah. But yeah, Gunther gives him that sucker boot. And then they end up having a chop off with each other.
The whole chop thing, I think it's that with Gunther, the boot and the chop. I know he knows more wrestling than that. Like, but that's all I see, and it bothers me.
Yeah. Well, also you can kind of see as to what he's working with and stuff too, which I had note, because they brought up the stats. When people are in the ring, they'll bring up stats for the upcoming WWE 2K25 game. And they have our boy Otis marked as a 75 on his rating. I'm like, God damn, that's harsh. Like I feel Otis is a better wrestler than 75. Like, at least put him in the 80s.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it is. I feel like that the different gimmicks have kind of died down what he could be as a singles wrestler, or at least what he could have been, because he did have a good singles run. Like when I did a brief thing back, what was it, around from like 2016 to 2017. A buddy of mine, I would go over just for pay-per-views and stuff, because I hadn't watched in a long time. Go over and have a few brews and watch it. And I watched the Royal Rumble, the one that Shinsuke Nakamura won, which
okay.
that is a great Royal Rumble. There's a lot of great wrestlers in there. And that was that. And Finn was one of the first ones out. He was one of the last ones to get eliminated, and that was the first time I saw Finn. And that was when he was babyface Finn and doing the boom, 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 and just putting his arms back with the crowd and everything. And I was like, this dude's got it. I remember seeing Otis and just like falling in love with Otis immediately, and his stuff has kind of died down just ring wise, and it sucks because he's in better shape now than he has been in the last like 8 years.
I mean, yeah. I just hope he has a better run now. I just hope he has a better run.
Yeah.
Especially with Jey Uso coming out, at the end of this,
so with there was a powerbomb finish, and then he decided to go in for a sleeper like right after that, and then Jey Uso comes out and gets on his attack, and then Grayson Waller, and oh gosh, A-Town down there, I'm forgetting his name. Grayson Waller, and damn it was Vince's last guy too. Now I gotta Google.
I mean, if we're talking about anybody from DIY or Motor City, I'd nope.
Yeah. A-Town. Austin Theory.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
Um,
Like, he's another one that seems really forgettable for me. And it's funny because I said it for SmackDown when we get to talking about it. I said it then. Like that's it. Like these people are just like the Motor City, whatever, and the DIY. It's like, why are you here? Why are you here? Like,
Yes, it's some forgetful folk. But I guess that's what they're setting up. I guess what Jey Uso's got Grayson Waller this coming Raw coming up here.
mhm.
Then it gets to the AJ Styles and Karrion Kross promo. I put it as both of them because that's what it was. And Karrion Kross doing his Karrion Kross effect about Logan Paul, which I don't have you heard of the Karrion Kross effect?
Yes.
Because everybody that he gets into it with, they end up turning out a heel. because he got into it with them or he influenced in some way. And I love Karrion Kross. Just because now that he's done away with like the whole faction thing, because those guys got let go recently. I saw an interview with him and Chris Van Fleet. And he is great. I just love him, his personality, and how like smart and funny that he really is. He was talking about back in like TNA when when he like pushed somebody down a stairwell, in an effort to like break their leg. that was like the whole point of like the spot and how he like had to set it up and how for weeks like behind the scenes he was just like anytime somebody like came up with something to me, it's like sounds like somebody needs to go down the stairs.
Get in mindset. Get in mindset.
Yeah. So and just and just the way that he like planted that seed of Logan Paul, and he was like, "That's easy." I'm just like, great. They're letting him be this conniving, crazy person. I'm like, good.
I mean,
do it.
sometimes people get what they want.
Yeah, good. Do it. Then right after that, we got the banger match of the night: Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria. There,
I love Valkyria. I love her.
They're both great. I like Ivy Nile. She's being the heel that she needs to be. But
Yes.
but also her in ring work. That's the thing. Like my very first note is well paced. Just they're
Definitely.
just so well paced. Then then she did a then Lyra did a handstand to a spin kick to a drop kick, twister, sit out, powerbomb. I'm like, my God, it's just like when Lyra Valkyria gets into the ring, she is definitely a showstopper. And she I've been watching the LFG stuff and just making every move mean something. She took that lesson to heart. She took that lesson.
She definitely did.
Because every move that she does means something. And same thing with Ivy Nile. I don't think it was a match to where Ivy Nile was being led. I think it was a very, very comparable match. They did, she did that twister sit out power bomb at one point. And then she got her into ankle lock, and that's where I put great selling the ankle lock. Because there was a great, good struggle along with it, just great selling it.
Both of them were selling it really well, which is something I noticed.
Yeah, both of them really well. And then it was a finish with the Nightwing finish. Which that's a really cool move. Lyra Valkyria got a lot of cool moves, and she is the women's Intercontinental champion.
I love how she together. She's like the perfect package for like the character she made. Her moves are pristine and go with the whole bird imagery, and I just love it. I love her athleticism and how it like It looks like she's flying a lot, which does great with the imagery.
Yeah,
Again, I love her, and I'm glad that they brought her in because she's doing so
yeah,
well.
yeah. I
Everything.
with the women's having it, I was saying a year ago, um, that they need that the women's need mid card belts. They need an Intercontinental and U.S. title, and
Yeah,
a year
definitely.
ago I would have said that Zoe Stark should have won that. Zoe Stark, I think, of all the women wrestlers, like get that girl around a top rope in a drop kick. I will watch it every time. That girl is an assassin when it comes to drop kicks.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I can see that. Her character wasn't all together
yeah,
though for me,
hmm and yeah. So, but Lyra, she's got it all together. They haven't gotten her on the mic too much, but she's the Intercontinental Champion. Her work's done in the ring. It doesn't need to be done on the mic. I gave that
Yeah,
match a 7.5. I just thought it was quite exceptional.
I agree.
Yeah, and then we had Seth and Punk Brawl 2. just walking down the hallway. And then that ends up ending out into a steel cage match, which that match I am really excited for come Monday.
I can wait.
Punk and Rollins in a steel cage. That's something that you would think WrestleMania, like kind of a match, being held on Raw. I'm all about it. Um,
They're talking about some major matches leading up to WrestleMania, which just makes you think that WrestleMania is going to be amazing.
yeah. If we're getting a steel cage match, 5 weeks before WrestleMania, what the fuck's WrestleMania gonna be like? Um,
Like,
After that, we got the Ludwig Kaiser Penta promo. Where I gave that little spot a 6 because Ludwig Kaiser is great on the mic. Um, I mean, I didn't even I wasn't fully back into wrestling until like about 2 years ago, and one of the reasons that I had gotten back into it because it's WWE 2K23, and I had just chosen at random Gunther, not for me to play, but as an opponent and manager. And in
mm-hmm.
the game, if you add Ludwig Kaiser as a manager, that's when he comes out and he does, "I demand all of your attention and gratitude." and I remember, like, when I was
Well,
first getting it, I hadn't watched wrestling, and so when like that like part came out, I was like, who is this guy? What is this Imperium? Like, I just picked this guy Gunther because I thought, Gunther, whatever, must be an easy guy. I'm pretty sure I lost that match. Like, Gunther's ridiculous, and Ludwig's great. I guess they're kind of still keeping Imperium a thing. I don't know, but it's not. It's not. Um,
it's one of those things that, like, you think it dissolved, but it might pop up any day. You just never
yeah,
know.
yeah, but yeah, and he's great on the mic, talking his crap, and then Penta comes out, and I just have strut, his strut that he does, oh my god, I love it. I scream like a little girl every time I see it, like, doing the strut.
That's
um, his
very
strut.
significant for the Penta strut.
Yeah. Um, but and cool senton. He did a really cool senton out of the ring. Penta's great. I'm really glad they just hopped on board with him immediately and just like, all right, let's put him in with our good mid card guys and go. Like, just go.
I hope they utilize him properly though, because he also faltered cracks so quickly, and that was my first fear when they said they're gonna get him. I was like, no, they're about to fuck this up. But I'm glad they're like trying to do what they're doing now. But I hope they keep it up.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm definitely digging Penta, and then we had Bianca Belair did a little promo talking about how she doesn't know what's going on. I put as note she'd make a good politician. Bianca, when you're done wrestling, get into politics, my dear. You would make a great politician. Because
the halftime, the I don't know, the yep,
yeah,
definitely,
yep,
definitely.
she knew how to steer her way right out of not answering a single question right there. And I was just like, you'd be a great politician. No, oh, and then we had the Chad Gable video.
I
The Chad Gable video. Know this guy? This guy just going out outside of like some random fucking Spanish liquor store holding up a picture. Know this guy? Random poncho wearing box guy pops up, in the middle of this dank dark alley.
yeah,
And I have maybe Japanese because they don't show the guy like on, and then he's got like kind of a Fu Manchu mustache going on. And
I don't know what was going on with that. I was so confused. I was just like, this is funny, but what?
what is going on?
Yeah,
And yeah, and then I have two of Pat McAfee's quotes. $500 and a box behind a liquor store should do it. And the other one is, hopefully this makes him a better person, but we know it won't. God bless Pat McAfee. Then afterwards, we got War Raiders versus the Creed brothers. This was a pretty good tag match.
it really
Yeah,
was. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, and I'm glad it
yeah.
was.
There was I had that drop kick to the floor. There that the big man did to one of the guys. Yeah, Brutus did a slip 450, like he did a 450, but like landed on his like ankles, and so I did slipped. And then each of them did a couple missed moonsaults. Then when the one Creed brother did a shooting star press, I did Billy Kidman has entered the chat.
Rest in peace.
Good old Billy Kidman, man. Good
Yeah,
old Billy Kidman.
man.
And then they did a really good. Oh yeah, when when the one big member of War Raiders there, when he does a crossbody to the dude while he's on the side of the stage there, while he's on the side of the ring, I just think those have to hurt so bad.
They have
They
to.
have to.
They have to hurt so bad.
They have to, because
I don't know how you like adjust your body. There's no way you can avoid pain with that. There's no way. That's what I think too.
yeah,
Like,
that big because it's not like that's LED light walling right there that that is built to take that stuff. Like, and you got a big 300-pound man flinging himself into you. That's gonna hurt.
yeah.
Um,
And there's no way you can stop the velocity from that big man.
yeah, yeah. There's and that big man can move. Like, that big man can move. Yeah,
Yep.
and yeah, they finish it with War Machine. I gave that match a 6.5. I think it was pretty good. And pretty well paced throughout most of it. Then we have an LWO promo on the New Day. To where they're gonna have a tornado tag match now. Getting ready to come up this Raw. Just kind of put it as 5, like, yeah, whatever. then that's when the Braun Breaker, and it's right after that when it cuts to commercial, and then it comes back for the Braun Breaker and Finn Balor little segment there, which we kind of already talked about, but glad that he got to get in a spear on Carlito there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all really is
And his
to him
big
do
thing
is do
now is
spears.
doing number ones here, like, okay. Right
Yeah,
before running, like, all right, want me to get him? Got him. But
I mean, at least he's like carving out his own image and stuff like
oh
that.
yeah,
So
yeah. Braun's terrific. His spot in at the Royal Rumble there. My goodness, speared the ever living hell out of that guy, and that made social media.
it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Speared the ever living hell out of that guy, and 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 that was when I was at the place that I was staying at before I had to come back home here, and one of the guys there was like, "Your wrestling's making making social media." I was like, "Really? Yeah, this guy got speared." I was like, "Yay, Braun Breaker's making social media headlines."
Even before you looked at it, yes, Braun Breaker.
Yeah. But so has that Jey Uso does a really good promo. Um, I even rated his promo as a 7. Because he's in the character, and he is getting out of the stuff of like people thinking that I'm gonna go out, and he's getting away from having to say and end every single thing with a yeet.
Well, the crowd does it for him, and he really has like the newer generation love
Oh,
him. They adore him. The T-shirts, I see them everywhere. They
oh
eat,
yeah.
and it's ridiculous, but that's great. I mean,
When I came out of night 1 of WrestleMania, I was behind a mom and dad and his 3 little girls. And the 3 little girls, for like the whole walk to like the subway station and stuff, all 3 of them were bouncing off of each other going, yeet, 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 yeet.
yeah, that's what it is. Like he has the kids. He has that generation. My little cousin's like 14, 15 now, but he loves
Yeah,
him. So he has all the T-shirts and stuff like that. So if you get that dynamic in that age group, they'll come up
yeah,
with you. So they're gonna see you for a
yeah.
while.
And that's also looking to me as like what the trade-off is eventually going to be here, is that I think John is going to win against Cody. And I think the trade-off is that we're going to have Jay beat Gunther. So that way they have a heel champion and a babyface champion.
Maybe I thought that, but you never know.
I do not foresee any reason as to why they won't put the belt on Jey Uso. And have him beat
Yeah, he
Gunther.
needs the belt. The smartest thing to do is for the company, I
Yeah,
think.
and also too with Gunther, Gunther, he's great. He'll put on a really good match, and he'll lose to him and stuff, but then that'll probably throw Gunther, because then the draft is happening after that, and I bet you Gunther will get drafted to SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean that'd be really good. That'd be really great to see. I think there's a really good lineup SmackDown with talkers, so I think putting Gunther there would definitely
Yeah,
help him.
and so I can see Jay getting the belt, and then Gunther right after the draft getting moved down. They could put it out into another match, into a rematch there, but I don't know. I kind of see Jay getting the title and then resting on that for a while. Yeah,
Do it.
do it. But yeah, and then we got for the main event there, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley world title match. Man, that was a good match. Yeah,
and I really didn't expect the outcome.
yeah, that and that definitely upped its game there. They started out with a good old reversal fest there, and then and then at one point, Rhea had her Io up in there and swinging her on the aprons when they got out into the side, and then they had a forearm off. Like I've been noticing a lot of like chop offs, forearm offs, punch offs lately. Like they've been going a lot more old school with that in a lot of matches lately. I've been noticing,
Back and forth,
you
yeah.
know, and hard miss on a moonsault, and then but then she followed it up with the sick crossbody, and but then Rhea got her with that table face plant where she like picked her up and face planted the shit out of her on the table.
Like she broke her nose or something. It's very well done.
And then we got the Bianca Rhea push off, with each other there towards the match, and then I made note Jessica Parr is a great ref. Snap it going on. All right, you need to get back in the ring. He's
A cool teacher.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. And Bianca's just like, I'm just trying to watch the match.
Yeah, like
I'm just trying to watch the match.
cool interlude. That was.
But then there was the shit talk into the Hurricane Rana into the moonsault finisher. Which that was a great finish. That was a really great finish. See at WrestleMania, which I think they're kind of setting this up just because of the way that they ended it. At the one night there, I think they're setting it up for a 3-way match. That'll be Io, Rhea, and Bianca at WrestleMania.
I mean, I'd love to see it.
Yeah. I think that's kind of where they're going. I definitely would love to see it as well. I gave that match a 7.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good match.
It's 7.5 over here. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Duly noted. Well, but that's Monday Night Raw for you. And then we got Friday Night Smackdown here, done up on March 7th. Randy Orton's promo open it up, and I gave it an 8 because he gave a great promo.
Again, I truly enjoy when they dig him up for anything.
Yeah,
like
he can do anything. He can do anything.
I'm not the biggest Orton fan, but whenever they bring him out there, I loved like how they used him because he was like the narrator that was like last time on, but in a cool wrestling way. That's all he did. He just gave like the synopsis of everything that had happened to create this whole like appearance.
Meanwhile,
yeah, exactly. So I like that part. That's how they used him this time. But again, dig up Orton. He gets the class. People like him. He gets the pop. So keep digging him up. And he still does well. He still does well inside the ring.
He's still really good. When I watched the NXT from a few weeks back to where he guest starred, it was he did a guest match. I forget who with, but he was trying to do an RKO counter to the guy's high spot move, but the guy fell short from Randy being able to catch him, and Randy just was kind of like, and gave him like a little kick up, and then gave him an RKO, and you could see him after the match. You could see him after the match being like, "It's okay, man. You missed a spot. It's fine." Like, but that's leagues away from the Randy Orton of the old days, who
definitely kicked him down.
Who used to
used
to get really mad if you fucked up a spot. which one of my favorites is when he RKO's the guy and gets up and he's stupid, that was stupid move, stupid.
Oh, classic.
Yeah,
Randy
and
Orton.
but yeah, just Randy's the man. And then and the first match of the night was Piper Niven versus Tiffany Stratton. I gave the match a 5. It did what it needed to do. Tiffany gave a perfect swanton.
She
Gave
did.
a perfect swanton. Otherwise, and my only really notes for the match was like Charlotte attacking her afterwards, and I have Charlotte Flair dressed like she's going to Burning Man.
I put she looked like she's going to the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah. She looks like she just came from something and decided to be Tiffany
Yeah.
Stratton.
I like the Battle of the Blondes thing they have brewing between them, though. I like it,
Hell yeah. That's gonna be one of the best matches of WrestleMania weekend, those two.
Yeah. I definitely hope it's more of a passion with torch thing than anything.
The following match that we get is the 3-way tag match: Motor City Machine Guns, Los Garza, and Pretty Deadly. I gave that match a 3.
I only take Pretty Deadly serious, which is ridiculous because the most ridiculous looking. But just the other ones don't do it for me. And then as I was watching, I had that mindset, and the guy snatched off his pants. I was like, "This is why I can't stand you guys."
Yeah. My first note was the prep work looks obvious. That that they had a lot of spots to where it just one of them was waiting. Just one of them was just waiting for them to do their other thing. I put in picture commercial because
it's pretty.
I forget the AEW ring announcer that loves to announce when they're going, and we'll be right on here with you. Don't turn anywhere. We're in picture commercials. But I put Chris Sabian from Motor City Machine Guns looks like a counselor.
He does.
Looks like a school counselor.
I just trying to be badass. He does.
And I put a note: Pretty Deadly wins by lame roll up, because it was a really lame roll up.
And it was really, but the whole match was really lame. And for like all those people in the ring, you'd think it'd be more excitement, but the most excitement was a guy ripping away his pants like fucking Adidas pants from '95. I mean, you can't really take these guys seriously. I don't know why they're there. I like Pretty Deadly though, because they make themselves seen.
Well, Pretty Deadly serves a great purpose of just being the comedic heels. Like I can watch those guys be Pretty Deadly for the next 10 years and be completely.
And they're actually good at it, but DIY and Motor City and the Guard, they're just like there.
Well, especially because like Motor City Machine Guns, like when they first came out, like the first 2 weeks that they were out, they had a different theme song than the one that they have now.
They did. And so it's hard to remember them.
And the new theme song sucks. Botchamania made fun of it, as they should. But I mean, those guys are really good in the ring, but there's no real compelling character work at all being done, like with the tag team stuff. I mean, they even had dude come out and they had general manager Nick Aldis there go off and have a drawing board as to like, here's what's going on.
So boring. It was just like, why are they doing this? This makes everything worse. Like,
it's like, are you guys showing us behind the scenes a little bit here, of being like, okay, so we got
I think it helped me
so we got
because
5 tag teams.
that kind of.
We got 5 tag teams. What are we gonna do with them?
And remember, the blacks are over here. We're gonna keep going back to the blacks. We're gonna circle the blacks over and over because everything comes back to us. Okay, bro, this is just. Did you really need to waste these like 3 minutes on this? Because I could have done anything else.
Yeah. You could have just had a normal tag match and maybe put up some rankings.
Maybe teams that don't suck. That would really help. Oh my god, that'd be the best. But whatever.
Then we get the Bianca Belair and Naomi promo spot. After that.
I hate that storyline. It's like I hate it. I want more wrestling energy, and that whole thing had like sad lover energy. I just couldn't take it. I love what Jade is wearing though.
Yeah, true. It said Bianca Belair yell is great. Her yelling is great. Some sloppy acting.
It's just, they should have just cut all that out and got to Jade beating ass.
But I also put Naomi did it for The Rock.
Oh my god! If the whole time, and I even wrote it, if Naomi said I did it for a Rock, I would have enjoyed this. Because I was getting that feeling, but then it turned to sad lovers. I was like, I hate you guys. I hate you all.
The cries, Botchamania will be great when this comes out.
Oh god. The only redeeming thing about all of that was that Jade threw. It was nice. I loved it.
And that's the finishing note. Jade Cargill is just amazing.
Or that outfit was gorgeous. She's great. She's awesome. And that whole thing, they could have cut out everything and just had Jade run down the aisle and do that to Naomi, and that would have been enough for me.
Yeah. just give us weekly beatings. Just Jade Cargill beating up Naomi every week.
Or anybody. Jade Cargill flexing. That's all we need to see.
Then we get Braun Strowman versus Solo Sikoa. The pacing in the match wasn't awful. I do have note, running hip attack is just a running ass face. Like I really hate that they call it the running hip attack. It's like they are throwing their butt right into their face. Like
they should just call it the stink face. I mean, just go all the way with it because it really is that. That's all. And I love Braun Strowman. I want to see more of him. I'm glad they're starting to utilize him a little, but like they could have done so much more with this match, Solo Sikoa, because they are both known for being strong.
My other note after the crossbody that he gives them, Braun gives a grace crossbody, and then the match gets interrupted. And I have the note, could have been a great match.
It could have been a great match, but I think they flatlined a little bit on that. I feel like they're doing that a lot when it comes to Braun Strowman, and I don't like it. I want to be utilized more. I want to see more of that big man because he could definitely be in there with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, that whole big man thing.
I had my final note on it was Fatu and Braun need to fight every week because we got shorted on their first match with each other on that Saturday night main event. The repeated stink face that apparently made him bleed. That was stupid. I know those two can put on a really good match with each other if they let them put on a good match. Because Jacob Fatu, he along with Braun Breaker are like the two guys that I'm like next 2 to 3 years they're talking world title game.
Yeah, I mean it should be
because they're both obnoxiously good on the mic. They're both obnoxiously good in the ring. every time Jacob Fatu gets ready to start saying something and stuff, like I feel the hood in him. Like, I feel the hood in him.
Definitely. He has a lot of in
Yeah,
it.
you know, he's just so good. Um, yeah. Past that, yeah. Oh yeah. Then we get Chelsea Green and Meacham fighting for the U.S. title there. That was a really good match.
That was a good match, except I'm still mad that she came out in Cactus Jack clothes. I know the homage thing, I understand,
I
but
liked
like
it.
I need more hardcore if you're gonna wear Cactus Jack stuff,
Agreed.
okay? She could have do love. What's wrong with do
Yeah.
love? That would go more with how
There
good
you go.
wrestling. Like you didn't wear Cactus Jack, bring the hardcore. She didn't bring all the hardcore for me, and I just was just like, that's just stupid.
Yeah. If you're gonna wear Cactus Jack's clothes, you better be bleeding.
And I'm just like, this is not enough hardcore for you to be wearing that shirt.
But I love all the weapons that they use, and I made note too that in the picture-in-picture, Meechin got Chelsea got her into the chain wrist and just started tossing her all over the place with the chain wrist. That was pretty great.
I needed more tables. I was upset there wasn't enough tables for me, but
True. Yeah, the fire extinguisher was pretty cool.
yeah, that was cute. It was cute. They should have hit her in the face with the need more hardcore.
Yeah. But the Coast to Coast was pretty good too. The fact that she was doing a little Coast to Coast. Shout out to RVD. Freaking, you know,
Word.
Rob Van Dam. Gotta do it. Yeah, and then Alba Fire came out and gave a Canadian Destroyer there, which I guess they're gonna try to be running her like in a solo mid card because they let go of Isla Dawn.
Yeah, like that's shocking to me to replace Alba Fire for her. I just hope that she can pull it off.
Which she has a lot of recognition overseas. You know, for being good. Hopefully they can, you know, bring it too. But I gave that match a 7. I thought it was pretty dang good. Could have used some blood, but
yeah. Hello, if you want to be hardcore and wear Cactus Jack shirt, but you know, I'll stop there. It was all right.
WWE needs to make that a rule. If you're gonna wear Cactus Jack clothing, you better bleed.
Yeah, or you could just do love.
Or just do love. Or do a Mankind.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
got it.
Come out.
No, Mankind was no, you can't do that. Oh my God, Mankind,
That would be
too.
hilarious if Chelsea Green came out.
Taco.
But the next match that we got is Drew McIntyre versus Jimmy Uso. I thought it was pretty good. My first note is 2 of the most consistent workers in the industry. Jimmy and Drew, every time those 2 are in a match, they put on a match. They're always really good.
Definitely do. Drew, he works his ass off on the mic, in the ring, so I think anyone that goes against him, they're gonna be in a real match, you know?
It was kind of one of those, like, they did it so well in there. I couldn't even really like take notes because they were just consistent the entire time of just like everything that they did. So I gave the match a 6.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't take a lot of notes because I was just like, these guys are just doing some good wrestling. And Damian Priest running in on.
I mean, it was expected. I was literally waiting for Damian Priest to run in any moment. So I like that didn't add anything to it for me because I literally was sitting there like, okay, Damian, come in now. Damian, come in now. You know, because it's
how
just
many ways
they were.
I put how many ways do you need to become the anti-Drew?
Yeah, so
watch Drew be fighting Jimmy Uso again next week.
You have Damian Priest coming from underneath the
he'll come from underneath the ring. And then Drew will
Yeah.
hop on the mic and still be bitching about CM Punk.
With a different race than I'm saying. I mean,
We're not even on the same. We're not even on the same roster now, and he's still making me mad.
it was a good
Yeah.
match though. I'm glad.
Yeah. Then
I like to see Damian Priest attack Drew McIntyre. I like the big man thing. It
yeah,
makes me happy.
yeah, same here. Um, then we got Street Profits and DIY each doing a promo that was just kind of like, great, did your job.
It was as good as their
Yeah,
wrestling.
yeah, did your job. Thank you. But then we got LA.
LA Knight,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, my boy.
I
The
love
the
him.
mo
I love
I
him.
love him so much.
Mm.
Um, he's
I love his mic skills. I love his wrestling style.
yeah.
So
He's someone that he needs to be in the world title. After the draft, I think that I think he needs to be drafted to Raw, one, and two, put him in a world title trilogy with Jay.
yeah, yeah. I want to see him the world
Yeah,
title. Not just yeah.
yeah,
Like he's good enough. He has people. He gets some good pop. I don't know why it's taking so long.
yeah.
Honestly,
The most infectious thing of WrestleMania weekend when I was out there, you could be walking in the crowd or like at any spot in the city, anywhere, and all you would have to do is go, yeah, and then it would just start like an infection, just go, yeah, 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 yeah. Let me
I love
talk to you.
and you definitely feel that he has the crowd. That's why I was like, I don't know why it's taking so long for
Yeah,
them to do what they should do for
yeah,
him.
because I mean, and without a shadow of doubt, the best one-on-one match of last WrestleMania that weekend was LA Knight and AJ Styles. That was
It
really
was.
was. It really was like the best one-on-one match. It was a straight up good wrestling match. It was a good setup storyline, which I kind of love that I've come to notice with LA Knight and his promos to when he's like showing up at like people's houses that he's like like in feuds with
I love
that
that.
it's obviously like it's obviously them talking like, yeah, we're gonna be working with each other, shit, and then they talk to him and they realize how cool he is, and they're like, well, let's get a promo of you like at my house, come stay the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, I love
um
it. I love it,
and
and like
I know,
I think it's like something because AJ Styles is like he's seasoned now,
yeah,
but literally he goes against LA Knight, and LA Knight really has crowd, and he basically carried that
mm-hmm,
match. That just says a lot about LA Knight as a wrestler, performer in
yeah,
general.
yeah, he's just terrific, and he's from Maryland. He's from Hagerstown, Maryland, not too far away from me here. And
Cool.
one thing is that the he is one of the two biggest wrestlers to come from Maryland. The other big wrestler being Scott Hall.
That's cool.
And we have never had a world champion. We've never had a major wrestler hold a world title from Maryland. So I'm always rooting for LA Knight to get a world title because I'm like, yeah, we need a Maryland guy. LA Knight from Hagerstown, Maryland.
That'd be a great thing. I'm sure that's a small town. I'm sorry, the name sounds like a small
Yeah.
town. So
But the
that could be something wrong.
I understand too why he ends up getting like carted to like the guys that he's wrestling to their place for a weekend, because I know this from being a traveling guy from Maryland. We just have a really cool, chill down personality to where people want to hang out with us for very long periods of time, sometimes for days. And we travel a lot. And so, like, it's just kind of an accustomed thing to where it's like, yeah, we'll get a hot now, stay here for the weekend. So I recognize that in his promos that he has that cool Maryland vibe too, to where it's like, yeah, let me just come on out, I'll show you some good cooking, have some brews, and chill out for the
I'm
weekend.
definitely seeing Kevin show life. That's one reason why I like him.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a great cook.
Or he knows where to order from.
Yeah, or knows where to order from.
But work out a lot. They don't normally have a chance to cook a lot, or that what they eat is very restrictive. So
he
never
knows
know.
what he knows. But yeah. I put LA Knight and Shinsuke Nakamura both promos. I rated them both as an 8. Just the promos on a level. But yeah, one of the great spots. Shinsuke did a handstand punch there.
Oh my god! And the old school with the mist in the ref's eyes was gorgeous to me. I was just like, yeah, that's what they did. I was just like, yes, that's exactly the nice sprinkled old school that this whole thing needed. I think to really lock in that you guys are reflective of characters from the Golden / Attitude Era, but definitely your own.
And get a great. I love his sliding German suplex, where he gets hung up on the side of the ropes and then just does that sliding German suplex. I mean, I like his dark samurai character and stuff now, but I used to love it back when he was babyface and he would slip out and right after the German suplex.
I like that one better. Like it comes across like more sinister to me.
Yeah. But I put stuff in the picture, and picture commercial break was really good too. the off the barrier slam, like you see LA Knight standing on the barrier and looking down, get ready to do it, and the big tall guy that's like dressed all in white, it's like standing next to him, and he's like, "Yeah, you should do it." And he looks at him like, "Yeah, I should do it. I should do it."
Yeah, that was good.
Great top rope trip. When he came up and did a like intentional trip up on the top rope the way that they did. Just the whole match had amazing pacing.
It really did. It was really a solid match. I would definitely give it a 8.
The chair drama that they had with the miss, that was the whole ending of the match was so very good and old school. I gave the match an 8 as well. And our man LA Knight is U.S. champion once again. Yeah.
I want to see him more. I want to see him all the belts. He deserves it, I think. Like, he's a solid worker, and again, he's another person that has the crowd. So people have the crowd to get the belts.
Yeah, just give him all the belts.
It works for me.
Give him all the belts. He's just terrific. Shinsuke as well was just super terrific. He's someone that he should have been a world champion a long time ago. His WrestleMania, that he lost the match. There was no reason for him to lose that match.
There wasn't. I mean, there really wasn't.
And he had the hype on him then. Could they get the hype back on him now in the world title picture? It would take a bit, and he pretty much only comes to like the whole reason for his contract into America is because he likes American surfing a lot better. He's a big surf nut, and there aren't as good of waves and stuff in Japan. So that was like he said that in like some shoot interview or something, to where he's like, waves are better in America. I like the waves. That's why I wrestle in America, for the waves.
If that's what brought him here, let him ride those waves, bro.
Ride the wave all you want, Shinsuke. What? outside of that kind of wraps up our reviewing over, um, all the nights of the current week, basically, of what we've done and what we're getting into. Good solid start to what's going to most likely be a lot shorter video
Yeah,
than,
hopefully.
than what we're doing right now. But hey, first one out. But otherwise, I'm excited for everything. Get ready to come up. I'm excited for Monday. For we got that steel cage match. I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
I'm actually really looking forward to that. I am not gonna pass out.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, I guess that'll wrap it up for the first inaugural Weed and Wrestling podcast.
Woo! Also, I'm gonna stop it here.